The river that wouldn't stay silent. The Cuyahoga Fire that changed America. Welcome back to Mystic America. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden stories, mysteries, and forgotten moments in American history. 20-second story summary after welcome. Today, we uncover the shocking true story of the Cuyahoga River. A river that caught fire not once, not twice, but at least a dozen times. For decades, nobody cared. Factories dumped waste, the water bubbled like poison, and the fires were treated as normal. But in 1969, a small blaze, barely photographed, barely remembered in Cleveland, ignited a nationwide movement that changed America forever. This is the story of the river that forced the country to finally open its eyes. It was the summer of 1969 when Tim Donovan, fresh out of high school, took a job at the steel mills along Cleveland's Cuyahoga River. It was good money, the kind of work that paid for tuition. But the river itself? It was a nightmare. Donovan remembered one rule everyone followed. If you fall in, go straight to the hospital. No exceptions. The Cuyahoga wasn't a river anymore. It was a chemical soup. Oil slicks stretched across the surface like a toxic skin. Bubbles of industrial waste rose to the top. Sometimes rats, so bloated they looked like small dogs, floated by. But nobody was surprised. The river had been abused for over a century. Pollution meant industry, industry meant jobs, and jobs meant survival. So when the river caught fire, again, on June 22, 1969, no one blinked. The blaze lasted 30 minutes, $50,000 in damage, a few scorched railroad bridges, not a single photograph. And for Donovan, the summer went on as usual. But outside Cleveland, something unexpected happened. Time magazine ran a story on the fire, using a dramatic photo from a massive blaze in 1952. National Geographic featured the river in a piece titled, "Our Ecological Crisis." Soon after, in January 1970, the Environmental Protection Agency was created. By April, Donovan himself was marching in the first-ever Earth Day, surrounded by thousands of young Americans demanding change. Suddenly, a fire nobody saw became the face of a national awakening. Historians later wrote, the 1969 fire took on mythic status. People imagined a giant inferno lighting the sky, shocking the nation into action. In reality, the fire was small, but the symbolism was massive. To understand why it resonated, you need to understand the river's past. Since the Civil War, Cleveland had exploded into an industrial powerhouse. The Cuyahoga, a winding river stretching 100 miles across Ohio, became the perfect dumping ground. Companies like Standard Oil, Sherwin-Williams, and Republic Steel poured chemicals, dyes, and waste directly into the water. By the 1870s, the river was already contaminating the city's drinking supply. By the 1920s, the water tasted like medicines and cleaning fluids. And the fires? They weren't rare. The Cuyahoga ignited in 1868, 1883, 1887, 1912, 1922, 1936, 1941, 1948, and 1952, and those are only the ones documented. Some fires killed workers, some caused millions in damage, but still, city leaders shrugged. Pollution was the price of progress. But by the 1950s and 60s, Cleveland began losing manufacturing jobs. The optimism faded. People questioned whether the river of fire was really worth it. In 1968, voters approved $100 million to clean the river. And after the 1969 fire, Cleveland's mayor, Carl Stokes, the first African-American mayor of any major U.S. city, and his brother in Congress pushed aggressively for national environmental reform. They helped turn the small fire into the spark for something bigger. Over the next decades, the river transformed. Today, the Cuyahoga is home to kayakers, paddleboarders, and fishermen. It's not perfect. Dangerous pollutants like PCBs still hide in the sediment, and much of the river remains inaccessible to lower-income neighborhoods. But it's no longer the burning, bubbling hazard it once was. Tim Donovan, now head of Canalway Partners, helps build public trails along the river. He sees the Cuyahoga as a symbol of rebirth, proof that places, like people, can change. He says, "Nobody is going to sit by a river with bloated rats floating by. The cleaner it gets, the more alive the city becomes." Today, the Cuyahoga stands as one of the greatest environmental comeback stories in America. A river once treated as disposable is now something worth protecting and worth celebrating. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into forgotten history and American mysteries, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Mystic America. More incredible true stories are on the way. Stay curious and stay inspired.